your interview sometimes exempted or somehow, somewhere. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Faiza Shaheen. This is our lecture 2 from the course of Economics and Financing of Education with the code of EDUC 4124. This is my email ID, and chapter number 2 is about economics of education. In this lecture we will go through the first half of the second chapter, agenda. This lecture includes the basic concepts about economics of education, meaning and definition of economics of education, nature, need and scope of economics of education, the economic value of education, and an overview of investment mechanism. Mechanisms will be read in detail. Other than investment mechanism, we will go through the other two types of mechanism as well. So starting from the opening slides, which are about the definition of educational economics. It is also known as economics of education. It is a study of economic issues relating to education, including the demand for education and the financing and provision of education. It is also called economics of education. Whenever we are concerned with the economic issues relating to education, we call that discipline as economics of education, and we study the provision of education as well as the demand of education in this particular discipline. Economics of education is the application of economic principles, concepts and laws to the process of education. As in the previous lecture I have told you that economics is the concept, it is a discipline that studies production, consumption and transfer of wealth, and whenever we apply the economical principles, rules, laws, concepts and principles in the field of education, we called it economics of education. So economics of education studies human behavior in terms of human decisions, actions and reactions about schooling. Whatever is occurring within the premises of the school and that is concerned with that is affected by the human decisions, actions and reactions and studied under economical terms, that is called economics of education. It may be a more authentic definition of economics of education that Business Dictionary defines economics of education as economy based on creating, evaluating and trading knowledge. In a knowledge economy, labor costs become progressively less important and traditional economic concepts such as scarcity of resources and economic scales cease to apply. Like in the discipline of educational economics, we apply the principles, basic economical principles, which includes scarcity of resources and economic scales. So it is the discipline which we call educational economics. Now coming up with the need, nature and scope. Why do we need to study educational economics? And what is the nature of this discipline and scope? Scope means that what is the area of application of this discipline. That we in easy wording we can say what is the width and depth of this discipline where we can easily apply this discipline. So it says that education is an essential expenditure. We can also say that education is an investment. We cannot say that education is a black box. We say no, it is an investment. The more we spend on education today, the more we will get in future. We will having returns on education in future. So it is an essential expenditure. Investing on education is productive. The returns are in the form of useful, dynamic and efficient citizens. It is the outcome of education that it makes us useful, dynamic and efficient citizens of the society. The simple example of it that educated people learn not only the basic principles of life but also they are dynamic and efficient citizens of the country. They contribute more on the welfare of the country. So that is also why we need to spend on education. Education is an investment for national development as well. So the benefits of education does not comply only on the individuals but also contribute towards the national development and growth of the country. Next is more adding points in the nature, need and scope of economics of education, that education confers economic benefits on the individuals receiving it and on society in general. So the benefits of education is not comprised only economics in education not comprises on the individuals only but also in generally it has meaningful contribution to the society as well. It is desirable to examine the various aspects of educational provision and finance. So whenever we want to determine the value of education, we need to examine the various aspects of its provision and finance, that how likely we are going to finance it, we are putting how much cost on the education and what is the provision of education. So we can easily determine its economic value. Economic benefits are related to investment in education. It is also a benefit. Like philosophy, sociology and psychology, economics is also considered as the foundation of education. So the link of education and economics is not only comprised on the costing and benefits of something, but also it determines the aims of education. Economics determines some major aims of education. Economics explains the importance of education, as economic growth of the country is largely based on development of education. So it explains that we need to spend on education so far, not only for the upgradation of the individuals but also on a country level. On a larger scale, larger level, we also need to spend on education. That is why we say that education and economics are well connected with one another. Next point is economic value of education. How can we say that spending on education is valuable? It is determined by the economic value of education. Education itself is an investment in economic terms. Investment itself means that it is something that will give you something back in return in future. So spending today on education is not a dump, is not a waste. It is ultimately going to produce some good results in future in the form of having good jobs, in the form of having skills and becoming a useful citizen of the country. It is the outputs of education. So today's investment on education is not a wastage, but it will give you something in economic terms in future. Education alleviates poverty as it produces skilled labor and creates right attitudes to work and development. So it is the benefit of economics of education that it gives you certain insights into the major and general both labor market trends and work and development of the country. It also creates awareness for better living. So education is and insight and awareness. Education determines the wage structure, like how much qualified you are. Through this mechanism, through this measure, we can determine that what will be the wage structure of you when you go to a job. So education determines the wage structure, the profile of professionals' values and guarantees the economic security of the people. So the more educated you are, the more likely you are earnable in the future. Besides the social, moral, cultural and spiritual aims of education, the purely simple bread and butter aim of education cannot be lost sight of. We cannot ignore the basic aim of earning bread and butter through education. In fact, the aim of education as for earning a good economic living is one of the major aims. So education makes you earnable, and that earning is ultimately studied under the discipline of economics of education, that more educated you are, the more likely you are earnable in the future. This is the economic value of education. Economic value of education cannot be determined easily because it is determined on individuals as well as on economy level, national level. So the economic value of education can be determined through these two approaches, which is macroeconomic approach and microeconomic approach. In the earlier chapter 1, we have gone through the basic modes of economics, which are microeconomics and macroeconomics. There we learned that microeconomics deals with the individuals and macroeconomics deals with the aggregates of the economy. Macroeconomics approach, by examining the way in which education has affected the economic growth of countries, how likely the aggregates, the totality, the countries are growing economically, it is determined through education. With the help of education, it is determined in macroeconomic approach. If education has an economic value to society, this should ultimately be reflected in economic growth as well. It means that where education is giving benefits to the individuals and societies, ultimately it is giving benefit to the economic growth of the country at larger. So macroeconomic approach studies that how likely education is contributing in the economic growth of the country and aggregates, whereas the other approach, which is microeconomic approach, it tells that we examine the links between education and income at individual level, how likely education is making an individual economically